What is going on, folks? I hope you're doing all right. You're watching The Hungry Handgunner. I'm Nick. We are out on my range today, to borrow a Paul Harrell expression. I'm not shooting. The dog is barking. Something weird is going on. For my long-time viewers, the dog is out. For my new-time viewers, that dog is the bane of my existence. It is the neighbor's dog. Can't really do anything about him. Can't even see him. I haven't shot. Normally he only barks if I'm shooting, and I have not shot at all. So he's just fired up. Maybe he heard me walk over here and he's taking preventive action. So today I've got a full review for you. It is not a gun, it is actually a knife, and I have put this thing through its paces. This is the Microtech Ultratech. This is their full-size variant. This is not the UTX 75 or the 85. This is the full-size. So I've carried this knife. I've used this knife pretty strenuously, and this particular model is the bayonet style, so you have a full sharpened edge down here on the bottom and about a 75% sharpened edge up here at the top. So it's a double edge, but not a true full double edge. I have to tell you, this is one of my favorite knives that I've ever purchased, and I'll show you guys close up here soon some of the wear on the knife. I shouldn't say abused it. I have used it hard though. A lot harder than I thought I would have given what these run. Haven't broken any glass with the glass breaker, so before anybody asks, that little signature feature on the end, I haven't used it. Hopefully won't have to. There's videos of guys using it to break all sorts of stuff though. I'm just gonna have trust that it works. So the knife, other than just being basically a fidget spinner that you can cut yourself with, is pretty useful. I found the lockup to have just a little bit of side-to-side play and just the tiniest bit of up and down play, and there's got to be some of that, I hate to use the word slop, but some of that looseness in there for this action to work, this out the front action to work, especially the double actions. It doesn't bother me. It hasn't impaired me whatsoever using this knife. I've used it as everything from a letter opener to cutting cardboard to rubber and even some wire. It's done very well. This Carpenter 204P steel blade has just held up fantastic. So I've got to give this my recommendation. I know they're expensive, but if this is something you're looking at and you're willing to spend that money anyway, I think this would be a hard choice to beat. So with all that being said, let's dive down close and look at it. So this is what we're looking at here. This is the OD green version. You can see some of that wear I was talking about. It's normally riding in my pants pocket like that. So it has some wear on the finish there and has rubbed up against things, etc. I have used it fairly hard. Pocket clip has held up well, no issues with that. I do like that it is a deep carry clip, so the knife does sit very low in your pocket. I've never once had an issue with this clip snagging something and then jerking the knife out of my pocket. Blade still comes out with some authority, goes back with authority. Very fun, very nice action. I've had no issues with my thumb slipping on the activation handle here or activation slide. It's got some nice checkering. It keeps it in there pretty well. You can see I've got a little bit of oil there. I did oil that button just a little bit. I noticed it got a little gritty. I think some pocket lint and stuff got in there. Cleaned it out as best I could and oiled it up without disassembling the knife. I've heard that can void your warranty, and the other reason is I don't have the bit to take this apart, so I haven't messed with it there. Edge retention is phenomenal. One of the best edge retaining knives that I've ever used. Now I will say that because of the blade steel used, this 204P steel, it is a little bit more intensive to sharpen than a lot of your other blade steels. Even my S30V, this steel does take a little bit more attentiveness when you're sharpening it, but once you get it sharp, it pretty much remains worry-free. So on a scale of 1 to 10, value, I'm probably going to ding it the hardest just because it is an expensive knife. Other than the way it opens, it doesn't really do a whole lot that my other knives don't do, but it performs phenomenally well. This isn't just something that you would put up on a shelf and just look at, or at least I wouldn't. I got it to use, and I certainly have. So I'm going to give it, on ergonomics in the hand, I'm going to give it a solid 6. There are knives that are more comfortable. There are definitely knives that are less comfortable. So I'll give it a 6 on ergonomics. I'm going to give the edge retention a 10. I've never had a blade perform this well. I'm going to give just day in, day out performance as well as far as utility goes. I'll give it a solid 8. The only reason I stop at 8 is it's partly my fault for choosing this blade style, so that's what I'm referring to will be the blade style. A lot of times if you want to brace on the spine of the blade, you do run a potential safety hazard of sliding that thumb up onto the edge, even though you do have this flat portion here. So that is going to make this blade style a little bit less practical than some of the other offerings they have, and they do have a variety. I'll drop a link to their website in the description. Value, I'm going to give it a 5. I know that sounds harsh. That's not me slamming Microtech. That's me saying that while I recognize that this is a handmade high-end knife, for $300, give or take, I am not getting that much that I couldn't get out of a different knife. That being said, the same could be said for Ferraris and Lamborghinis and other nice things in life. And this is absolutely the supercar of the knife world. So that is not a ding at Microtech. That is if you want a knife that you can just take out and use as a screwdriver and pry things and all that, I would not pick this one. I'd go get a Harbor Freight knife or whatever, Walmart Ozark Trail knife. And that's not slamming people that carry those before somebody gets upset. But this knife has just been, I mean, it's a fun knife. It works, and I'm glad I got it, but I cannot recommend paying this kind of money for just a everyday carry utility knife. There are knives that'll do the same thing for less money. So value is really the only area that I hit this thing hard, and that's going to be subjective. Everybody's got different budgets and priorities and things like that, so don't get too mad at me for that. I will say the fact that this knife has a serial number and a birth date, if you will, at least a month in the year, is pretty impressive. Very impressive Microtech. I've been following their founder, Jason McCoy, and some of their stuff over on social media, and they seem like a really, really awesome American company, down-to-earth folks. So can't speak to warranty because I haven't had to use it, so that does kind of speak to warranty, I guess. Can't speak to the customer service side of it, I should say. As far as the craftsmanship and durability of this product, I can find zero fault with it, and I have used it hard. So, alrighty. I'm going to go ahead and roll in some unboxing footage. I don't like doing unboxings with a product that I've used this hard just because there's some wear on the finish and things like that. I already gave you guys a close-up on it, so I'll roll in some unboxing footage and let you see how this knife originally came before I got started using and carrying this thing. Alright, so here is the box. I've kind of put this back in here as a mock-up unboxing. So like I said, I have been using it. It says that it is the Ultratech bayonet with OD green, satin standard blade, 120-4 OD. Pretty nice box. I like black and red, so that's nice. 100% American made, which is one of their other big reasons people like them so much. They are on their 25 years of innovation, so it gives you a little backstory on the back here. Welcome to the Microtech family, blah blah blah. I'll hold that there if you guys want to read that. Alright, so I don't think anybody's really going to read that, but we'll carry on. So you open the box, it does say caution, sharp edge, and an inspected by and somebody's initials. And then you have the knife in a little plastic sleeve, and there is a pamphlet on protecting the knife and like how to use it and things like that. But I have misplaced it. I think I filed it away in some paperwork. I will try to find that. But that's normally in there on top of the knife, and it's just kind of like do's and don'ts and conditions of your warranty and things like that. So you get the knife out. One of the first things I'm seeing that I want to bring up is these proprietary screws. If you have an issue with this knife, it does have Microtech's lifetime warranty. So I will not be taking the knife apart. I would just send it back to them. I think that's the safest course of action for me with my limited technical and mechanical skills. But you got their little claw emblem there, and then going down the knife, you know, it looks pretty straight, but there's actually some curves. Like there's a nice curve right through here, and a little step down after the switch. It actually fits in the hand very, very well. There's that glass breaker ball bearing on the end there. You have a lanyard lanyard loop if you're one of those super cool people that wants to put a lanyard on your knife. I'm not cool enough to do that, so I have not. And then when you come over to this side, you do have the deep carry pocket clip, which is pretty nice and works very well depending on the thickness of your pants. One cool thing is with this graduated pocket clip design, if your pants are too thick to go all the way up, it will stop still fairly high up on the knife, which is very nice. I like that. Some of the pants I wear, it won't go all the way down, so that's pretty nifty. Now, I held off from getting a Microtech for a very long time. The price kind of put me off. I didn't see the appeal other than the double action out the front design. And they do offer different styles of knives, but Microtech is primarily known for this operation, the out the front double action. So I knew that was cool. I didn't think it was worth the money, and I figured it was kind of gimmicky. I can tell you after using this knife that this is one of the most comfortable knives I have to carry, one of the coolest knives I've ever owned, and you can really tell that there's a lot of attentiveness and care that goes into making these knives. Microtech is an American company, and just if you follow them on social media, you already know what I'm talking about. If you don't follow them on social media, I would urge you to do so. They're a very open, transparent company, down to earth. So value is subjective, and again, I did ding them kind of hard on the value side of things. That's not a stab at Microtech, that's just more a reflection of my budget and my needs. So figure out where those priorities are for you. They're not inexpensive, but I think that if this is what you're looking for, double action out the front knife, they are undoubtedly the best in the industry from things I've seen. So, with all that being said, guys, I think that if you want one of these, my opinion is they're good to go. If you were waiting on my judgment for whatever reason, now you have it. I would say go grab one and carry on, have fun. Don't cry too hard when you get your first scratch on it. It'll be alright. It's a tool. You bought it to use, most likely. If you bought it to put on a shelf, I don't understand you types of people. So, stay safe, keep shooting if you can, do your dry fire if you can't, and I'll see you guys around.